Hello, everyone. Welcome to Talk Boost. I'm Anna. In today's episode, you will practice English through a story. Stories help you learn English naturally. You improve listening, learn new words, and understand real emotions and situations. So relax, listen carefully, and let's improve your English through stories. Learning English through stories helps you understand English easily, remember vocabulary for a long time, improve pronunciation and fluency, feel confident while speaking. Now let's begin today's story. Every morning was the same. Very quiet. Too quiet. 74-year-old Raghav woke before sunrise, not by choice but because sleep no longer stayed with him. His small room was cold. The walls were old, the paint peeling like dry skin. A single bulb hung from the ceiling, flickering whenever it wished. He sat up slowly on the bed. His knees ached, his back protested. He paused, as he always did, letting the pain settle. Then he looked at the other side of the bed. It was empty. Always empty. His wife had died 12 years earlier. Cancer had taken her slowly and painfully. After her death, the house had lost its voice. Silence filled every corner. His son Amit and daughter Neha had once lived there. Long ago, they grew up, married, and moved away. At first, they called every week, then once a month, then only on festivals, eventually not even then. Raghav never complained. He told himself that they were busy, that life was hard, but his heart understood what his mind refused to accept. After washing his face at the small tap outside, Raghav boiled water and made weak tea without sugar as the doctor had ordered. He drank it slowly, staring at the wall clock. Drego, drego, drego. Time moved forward, but his life remained still. Breakfast was 2 dry biscuits. He opened the door and stepped outside. The world was busy. People walked fast, eyes fixed ahead. No one noticed him. He picked up his walking stick and moved carefully, step by step. Every day he walked to the same place, the hospital nearby. Not because he was ill, but because it felt alive. Ambulances came and went, doctors rushed through doors, families cried, some smiled with relief. Pain lived there, but so did hope. Raghav sat on the bench near the hospital gate. It had become his place. He watched people pass, listened to voices, and felt a little less invisible. Sometimes he imagined his children walking through the gate. Sometimes he imagined his wife sitting beside him. In his mind, he spoke to her, reminding her that life still moved on. One afternoon, something changed. A voice called out, "Baba." Raghav froze. He knew that voice. Slowly, painfully, he turned his head. Amit stood there. His son looked older and thinner, but his eyes were the same. Raghav's heart began to race. "Amit," he whispered. Amit smiled and sat beside him, holding his hand. He apologized, speaking of work, stress, and life's difficulties. Raghav listened like a thirsty man listening to rain. When Amit said he wanted to take his father to live with him, hope bloomed inside Raghav's chest, warm and bright. That night, Raghav could not sleep. He packed his clothes carefully, cleaned the house, and touched the walls one last time. For the first time in years, he believed he would not be alone. The next morning, Amit returned with papers explaining they were needed for medical reasons. Raghav trusted him without question. A son was a son. They went to the hospital, the same gate, the same bench, but this time Raghav did not sit outside. Inside, doctors spoke softly, forms were signed. Raghav felt tired. Amit asked him to wait and left to bring tea. Minutes passed. Then hours. Amit never returned. A nurse eventually approached Raghav and explained that his son had admitted him as a long-term patient. The papers were signed. Raghav's world shattered. That night he cried silently on a hospital bed, surrounded by machines and empty space. The next morning a stranger sat beside him, a young man named Arjun. He explained that he had often seen Raghav sitting on the bench. His own mother had once been treated there and had passed away. Two lonely souls met, different ages, the same pain. Raghav spoke, Arjun listened. For the first time in years, Raghav felt heard. Days passed, Arjun returned every day with fruit, stories, and quiet company. One day, he invited Raghav to live with him, explaining that kindness once given should always be returned. Raghav accepted. Years later, Raghav stood again near the hospital gate, but not alone. Children ran around him, laughing. They were Arjun's children. Raghav smiled. Love had returned to his life, not through blood, but through kindness. That's the end of today's story. If you enjoyed learning English this way, please like, subscribe, and share Talk Boost with your friends.